everyone, my name's Nikos. I've been selling on Amazon for the last 4 years, and I've been able to scale it from a retail and arbitrage part-time side hustle into a full-time business with now I'm selling my own brand onto the Amazon platform. So what I do is I purchase stuff from China, put my logo on it, and send on Amazon under my own brand. That's effectively what I'm doing. And there is obviously there's a big gap in the middle. Buy from China, you've got a gap in the middle of the transfer, and then sell on the Amazon platform. And what we're going to be talking about here today is that just gap in the middle. I'm going to be talking about the 3 ways that you can bring stuff over from China, and what does that mean financially for yourselves. Again, I've just done the 3 different ways. Actually, I've used all 4, but I'm just going to show you the 3 different ones that I use most of the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my whiteboard out and I'm going to go full teacher mode here and try and explain to yourselves how this works. Now, when it comes to having stuff from China, is the different ways that I use in order to source is EXW. These are the different terms. So EXW, FOB, and delivery duty paid. So these are the terminologies that I'm using when it comes to ordering from China. Now, by the way, if you're thinking like I want to get into mentoring, now all you got to do is just go .co.uk and you be able to find myself and sign up if you wanted to for a discovery call, a no obligation discovery call to find out if I'm the right person for you. So private label and a journey. So these are all the different terminologies and terminologies that potentially you might need to use when it comes to it. So you go X works. So this is as at the time of leaving the factory. So this is factory price basically. So factory price. Then you got FOB. So this is, if you've got China, this is port price. So what effectively has happened is they've got it from the factory, they've finished with the job, and they've either transferred it over to the port for use, plus also paid the fees at port. Delivery duty paid is probably the most straightforward one, and the reality is the majority of you when you're starting going to do delivery duty paid, and this means it gets to your lovely house, all fees paid for. So this is a very, very simplistic model for it, and what I'm going to do is talk about all the different scenarios here. So why do you need to be speaking? Why do you need the factory price? Well, you need to know the factory price. When you're inquiring and you're placing an order, so apologies for the cable, but it means at least we've got decent volume. Well, let's move it. Oh, there you go, it's actually went away. So when you're inquiring with China, you say, I want 500 units. Why 500 units? Well, you want them to take it seriously, and you're going to say, what is the X works price? Because therefore, you know what the price is, and you're not expecting for them to say, right, how many, how do you want it to get to your location, etc. So this is the price at the point of contact. Now, of course, China factory will love for you to buy everything X works, because it means that you are responsible for everything. You are responsible for your lovely lorry or whatever it is, your lovely car, picking up everything, delivering it to port, you paying the fees at port. It comes to the UK, you pay fees, duties in the UK, you pay your VAT, etc. in the UK, and then it comes to yourself with pallets, etc. So this is what a Chinese supplier would prefer. They've sold something and then you are responsible for everything. FOB is where they take some responsibility. At a FOB, they take the responsibility where they're finished with the factory work, they've taken it to the warehouse for you. Now, usually this warehouse on port, I say, is the forwarder's warehouse. I use a company called Westbound. It's just the only one I've been using. So a forwarder's warehouse, it goes there, and then they also pay the fees at port. Now, there is another part of this journey. That part is from China to get all of here to the UK. And when it gets to the UK, you still have to pay VAT. You still have to pay the duties at the time of entry for us. Now, if you're a VAT registered seller, you can do postpone VAT. And a company like Westbound will be able to sign a waiver. And basically what happens is at the point of entry, they'll say to you, this is the VAT. And instead of you paying it, it's effectively sending HMRC a note saying like, right, okay, they've not paid this HMRC, but they cannot claim it back on this period. So effectively, it just cancels each other out. That's what happens with it. So you don't pay the VAT on entry at that specific point if you're VAT registered seller, if you've done postponed VAT. But if you're not a VAT registered seller, you'd have to pay the VAT and you'd have to pay the duty at the point of entry. Potentially, you'll have to pay for palletization of the goods, transportation, etc., etc. when it comes here. Delivery duty paid, all fees are paid for. It doesn't matter if you're VAT seller, it doesn't matter if you're a non-VAT seller, all the fees are paid for. So if you ask for a supplier, I want the 500 units, I want delivery duty paid to this address, to my lovely house, they will tell you exactly what it is. Now, each of them has the benefits, okay? If you have a contact where it works fantastically for you to be able to have that transfer from the factory all the way to the UK, then fantastic. I've been enjoying using FOB, especially for my large container orders. And then delivery duty paid is for little orders, you can say, potentially. Now, if you speak to any forwarding company, they will say to you that they suggest to be doing FOB and not doing delivery duty paid because there is a strong possibility that the Chinese supplier is under declaring the value. So if I was to send, let's say, for example, a container, which I did, a 20-foot container with delivery duty paid, I don't want HMRC to be thinking, or Revenue and Customs thinking, what the heck is happening at this stage here. So this is why my 20-foot container came as FOB. Delivery duty paid, I pay it when I'm doing larger, smaller orders, let's say 200-300 quantity kind of thing, because again with a forwarder you need to be at least 2 cubic meters before it's even worth using them, I would say, because they've got a minimum charge. Now what does this mean about you financially? Stuff comes over here. Now say you buy something for £5 China, you got to be factoring in the VAT, you got to factor in the duties when it comes to it. If you're a VAT registered seller and you do delivery duty paid and it's £5 landed, okay, £5 landed, delivery duty paid. Now it'd be wrong for you to just go on your profit tracking software and put cost of 5 and nothing else. In order for you to get the correct figures, is no VAT on cost. So you've got no VAT on cost, yeah? So you cannot reclaim that VAT, but you would have to pay the VAT on the sale. So say if you've got a £15 sale, you would have to pay the VAT on that. So you know how when you've got the normal procedure, if you're a VAT seller, where you can claim portion of the VAT that you pay, you claim the VAT that you paid, and that gets subtracted from the sales VAT. This is a situation here. So I like toggling off there's no VAT on cost when it comes to profit calculation for us for this procedure. When it comes to the calculation of a FOB shipment, let's say for example, I will put the price as if I'm paying VAT, because that'll just make it clearer for me. So my calculations would be with VAT included and the duty for my cost of goods. But yeah, so these are the options that I've been using and have been exploring, and then each of these can be either by truck, can be by sea, or can be by express. And again, everything is good with them. So you've got your, again, don't laugh, okay? This is supposed to be an airplane, yeah? This is an airplane. You've got your boats. Dude, grief. It just tells you when's the last time I've drawn a boat. You've got your lovely boats. And surprisingly, you get a truck sometimes. Oh, you do also get a train. Yes, that's a train. Okay, if you're looking at this now, I think it was your drawing. So these are the options when it comes to shipping something for us, and it varies massively, okay? So this between 7 and 14 days. This usually is between 40 and 50. They'll usually say between 35 and 45 here. And again, train could be, again, 35 to 45 for ourselves. So these are the days for something to arrive to yourself. So each of these options can be done this, but for me, delivery duty paid and express probably connects the best when it comes to it, or have done by sea too. I just want you to understand, and when it comes to it, and when you're speaking to China, is ask them, because yes, you've paid, you've decided what you're going to do. ask for this. Now, hopefully I spelled it correctly. Ask, what is this lead time? Chinese suppliers love taking your money, of course, and then saying to you, oh yeah, 20 days before we can post it out. So you might have thought you're getting something in 2 weeks' time. You just add an extra 20 days during this process. I've had one supplier that said 2 months before they could post it out. So it would have been 60 days here plus the 50 because I'm tight and I like doing free shipping. The difference is massive when it comes to it for yourselves. But yeah, I just hope this makes sense. This is the way I do it, really. This is how I bring stuff over with the different conditions, and hopefully I've cleared it up a bit for you in regards to these different procedures. As I said, I love selling my own brand on Amazon. It truly has created a massive freedom for us. And yeah, it's this stuff that you learn throughout this process. Obviously, there's a few hiccups that you can have throughout this process, and you're thinking, oh, I don't like to speak to this supplier, etc. And this is where having somebody that you can talk to and having a mentorship helps. So if you're thinking, I would like to do a mentorship with a private label, then all you got to do is just book a free discovery call myself. The link below is in the description. And if you would like to have my cheat sheet when sourcing, plus the Excel spreadsheet that I use to keep track of all the contact with different suppliers, all you got to do is just follow the link below in the description, subscribe to the newsletter, and then they'll be there for yourselves. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to see me sourcing for products to sell on Amazon, then just follow that link there.